Standard, and this is to do with the inquest that has been going on in Police Question 12 in the murder of Varsity Girl. And I'll start with you, Weda, as a lawyer, your maybe comments on how this case is going. For Kenyans, we remain sometimes concerned. We've had very high-profile murders that we are still waiting to hear any news or any updates on that. If I would quote, I would say the likes of Chris Msando.
Yes.
The police come out and say no stone will be left unturned, but they turn stones until we forget about them. So this being another one now that, of course, we are focused on.
I think this one, the police seems to be moving fast, but there seems to be a hand that is also moving fast in cover-up, because I saw that reporter who had reported to a police station about this. It turned out that report was not in the orbit, or it had been removed. I heard what the people in the hotel where they had met, the comments they were giving. They say, we don't know, the CCTV footage was not working and they couldn't recall faces. So I think some of these things, the police are moving, but there's also cover-up. It requires the police to exercise high integrity in their investigations. The fact that they had an eyewitness in the name of that journalist would require to have been protected, and then the evidence he would give is enough to actually nail quite a number of people. So they saw these people. Then other than that, there's the DNA sampling. These people in the vehicle, they were amateurish. They even they attacked these people physically. So their DNA remnants or whatever, in the clothes these people are wearing, the police should gather this, do the test, and arrest people. And then some of them will disclose whether they were sent by high authorities or they were acting on their own. But the bizarre manner in which they murdered this girl shows a bit of hatred. There must be who really hated this girl so much. And you can see from the newspaper reports where evidence would lead, and it is sad. We pray it is very sad. But the police should not go the Msando way or Abracadabra, the way they want to kill my younger brother Charles Kanjama, and then some people allegedly commit suicide in police cells. We should not allow that. That is where the police themselves are also allowing cover-up. If you take, for instance, in a police cell, you are not allowed to go in by a belt. You are not alone. Chances that you'd hang are very low. So when you are told so has died and is the key witness, even these other people in this one, you hear maybe the key witness, that we are urging our police. These are the kind of cases where you need to move very fast. And the DPP also to move fast. These are now where you should be charging people early in the morning and sending the police. Instead of ordinary Kenyans, you charge and you do drama. Where we want drama, there's no drama. We should act very fast in this one.
All right, and Michael Agwanda, just to widen that scope a little bit, because it's not just about her, but there are quite a number, like I mentioned, of high-profile murders that have taken place. And I'll give you an example. I did not have my identification card for almost 8 years. But at the point where I wanted to apply for it, I went and had sampling of my fingerprints. Within an hour, they were able to find all my details. Now, that leaves me thinking that if they really wanted to find some of these suspects, they have the details. If they are able to get my details from the records within an hour of sampling my fingerprints, then surely when it comes to a murder of this magnitude, sampling of maybe the areas of, dusting and getting fingerprints would be able to identify, at least bring us closer to key suspects, persons of interest.
Mike, I want to start by saying that I want to send my condolences to the family of Sharon that are now mourning their loved one. To our kids and to our parents, to our brothers and sisters, this is not how they expected this to end. But again, we must condemn with the strongest term possible the heinous act on a life of a human being. And not just a human being, a wife, and also a mother. And not just a mother also with a baby in her womb. This is not what you want to do to any human being. And this, the government has to get to the bottom of this. As my brother Weda has said, I think there's a lot of cover-up that is taking place right now. But I also want to thank the Fourth Estate. The media have really covered this matter so extensively. And I think this is what every family that has gone through murder need to go through. The media need to get to the bottom of every case that has been as a result of murder, other than just, you know, because one of their own was involved in this fiasco. Mm-hmm. But that aside, Kenya has had a lot of issues of extrajudicial murder. Kenya has had a lot of murder in this country that has never been, you know, investigated and results given to Kenyans. And what we are wondering is how long will this have to continue, where people are murdered, the police does the investigation, and it doesn't go anywhere. I know there's huge interest now in fighting corruption in this country. If we do not use the same vigor on the police, and especially the investigation department, the DCI, that is supposed to come up with hardcore evidence to prosecute some of these people, I am telling you that people will take the security into their hand to protect themselves. In this case and many others, like Musando, we have, I just read a few minutes ago about a couple or a man and a gentleman that had hijacked an individual in Kilifi and then chopped off his manhood, and then they presented themselves with a different, ID for a job in Nairobi, and they were caught up with. The government has information of every individual in this country. The question that everybody is therefore asking is, what happens when it comes to capital murder? Why can't we ever get to the bottom of these people that are murdering people left, right, and center? Right. And more so, we've even had lawyers that have been killed, by people that were purported to be in the government or even in the police, and then nothing happened. Some of these people are arrested, and you don't hear about it for a very long time. I think it is high time the government has to start using DNA more than physical evidence, because physical evidence, it is very possible you can have 2-3 number plates in your car, and in the next junction it is thrown out. You'll never get that car. But if you follow on the DNA and follow on the leads of these people and the traction on the telephone communication, that is how people are caught. And again, I want to say this. If we do not invest on the criminal investigation, individuals and department will never get to the bottom of this. Because what happens abroad, for example, is if Weda is given a case and is the detective, he will do it until he dies. And they will fund him to make sure that that case is brought to conclusion. What about Kenya? Your boss will tell you, go and do that other case. This one will be lying, and that is how we lose cases.
Senator Irungu Kang'ata, to weigh in on this and possibly what you feel would be a way forward, especially given we've had very high-profile murders, which we still remain with more questions than answers.
Yes, first and foremost, I'm fearful. There appears to be a negative trend that is emerging where serious crimes appear to be connected to some people working in the counties.